Good evening, everybody. I'm doing a quick live. I got sent a video and somebody asked me about my response to it. So I'm gonna respond in a respectful way because I'm not into tearing down anybody's opinions or videos, but I just want to give my outlook because I see things from different perspectives. So I'm gonna give it some time for you to log on. I don't even know what to call this. Let me see what I'm gonna call it. I'll call it this. What's up, y'all? Good evening, everyone. What's up, guys? What's up? Um, oh goodness gracious, let's lower this. There we go. That way y'all can see my face. I think I'm gonna have to take my glasses off because this light is just hitting me. What's up, you guys? What's up, Miss Lawana? Girl, I tell you in the DM. Girl. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully that stays up. Let me see if I can. Oh, I got one more wrist. I don't. What's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? What's up, Mercedes girl? What's popping? Can't get it to stay up. Ugh. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna just give some time for people to log on. Like I said, the video is not me trying to tear this lady down. If you follow me, what's up, Kai? If you follow me and you saw my what is it called? My story, I posted the video there. Let me just take this off. I posted the video there just so for a reference so you can know what I'm talking about, but in no way am I trying to eat this lady up. This lady is the first lady of it, and she was piggybacking off her husband's sermon, and she made a video. So let's just get started. First of all, let me just say I'm doing well. The kids are good. They're all in the room playing together. Jada Jr. and Honey. Lance is at work. I haven't gone live in a long time. I'm gonna just keep on doing what I do, okay? I wanted to talk about this topic because somebody sent me a video, and in that video, the lady is talking about familiar spirits, okay? I am not going to summarize her video. I think it'd be best if you go watch it. So whatever you take from it, you take from it. After watching me, you're probably going to have a biased view of it, so I really apologize, but basically, she's speaking of familiar spirits and how they can tarnish, taint, or curse whole generations. And the context of familiar spirits is her talking about basically kind of like, the context was women who are dating trash men and feeling like, why I keep meeting the wrong man. And she basically alluded to there's a familiar spirit on your household or bloodline or family that's y'all's thing, y'all's sin, so to speak. So a couple of things I agree with her, and I wanted to say this up front. She said family secrets keep you sick, not safe. I agree. She said you want to test the spirit by the spirit. The Holy Spirit can recognize a familiar spirit. Now, when she says that, she's meaning like somebody who has a certain, I guess, sin or bent, whatever. So, for example, a woman who only dates men that's physically violent towards her. And she's trying to figure out, why am I only attracted to these type of men, okay? Last but not least, she said the family tree, certain family trees may have a branch or a section of the tree that's bent more towards a certain sin. I agree with that too, okay? Let me just jump on in there. So the word familiar, she gave a Greek translation, which was right. It's actually Latin, and I'm gonna just get into familiar spirit. Familiar is familiaris, and it's basically translated from a household servant. Now from that, she starts talking about what has a hold on your house, and I was like, that ain't what I got from it, okay? In the Bible, in Leviticus, Deuteronomy, please DM me if you want these scriptures, baby, okay? Because I don't get on here just talking. The Bible talks about people who are witches, sorcerers, or necromancers, okay? Which are people who commune with the dead to get answers or learn about the future. Familiar spirits in the Bible's context was people who call on dead spirits to do their bidding. So when she kept saying familiar spirits, the context that I know that term to be was not how she was using it. So when the person sent me the video to watch it, they were very taken back and wowed by it. let me just tell y'all. First of all, here's number. If you watching this, please take this. If you send me something, I probably already seen it. Now I'm very kind and polite in the DMs because I don't find peace in being mean. But a lot of the times people send me stuff, I be like, I done seen this already. Also videos, people like, I want to know what you think. 9 times out of 10, I'm ripping the video apart. So, and that's because, you guys, I do a lot of reading. Okay, I do a lot of watching YouTube. I watch sermons, not just so I can be smarter or I think I'm more spiritual. I love consuming knowledge and I love to challenge myself. But I also have discernment and I be tearing these people up. So when you send me stuff thinking I'm gonna be impressed, I don't want you to be offended if I come back with something that you didn't think of. It's just me making you think. Okay, so familiar spirits is the idea that certain sins that we are bent to, more than one or the other, is because in our bloodline, there is a generational curse or sin that is just rampant, right? Here's a good example. Everybody in my family, not me, just example. Everybody in the Smith family, none of the women are married. And they all got children out of wedlock. Over here in the Parr Woods families, they are, molestation is running rampant, right? And then over here in the Sarkowskis, alcoholism is running rampant. So her idea by using familiar spirits was alluding to that. Yes, I agree, okay? Now here's my issue. I'm a life coach by trade. I have a master's degree. I'm almost dang near licensed. I'm not licensed because I don't want to be under the laws of California. So I don't have my 3,000 hours. But if you've ever talked to me, worked with me, or watched one of my lives, you know I know what I'm talking about. The problem with teaching or preaching to somebody that their bloodline has jurisdiction or has control or leadership or has a say-so in the type of sin or lifestyle they're living is dangerous rhetoric. Because you take away the ability to hold people accountable for their choice. Now, you're going to see me doing a lot of hand movement because I get really excited to crunk. Okay, when I argue with nobody's here, but I get excited because this is just what fuels me. When you are dealing with people who want to understand their behavior and then inevitably change it and learn from it, one of the worst things you could do is tell them you just like that because whatever. Even in alcoholism. Okay, when you take the 12-step classes, courses, but you got to admit before you start any type of group meeting, hey, I'm here because I'm an alcoholic. You don't get to say, I have a predisposed condition to alcoholism. We know genetically alcohol affects them differently, but you got to admit, you know what? I have a choice. I chose alcohol and now it's ruined my life. I'm an alcoholic. My name is Kat Branchman. I'm an alcoholic. You know, you have to do that. So immediately for me, as somebody who works with people, trying to get them to see themselves before we even work on the behavior, I can't give you a way out. I can't give you a foothold to say, this is how I am. Watch this. As a woman who dates trash men that may want to get married one day, right? And you say, Kat, I am dating men who have a pattern of abuse, manipulation. They're not empathetic and they're just immature and they hurt me and they just abuse me. I watched this video and what I took from it was my bloodline is cursed, and all the women in my bloodline, this happens to them. Immediately they're going to start to feel helpless, right? As young believers, and when I say young, I don't mean your age, I mean your spiritual age. That's a bad place to be in when you are still trying to process or digest the idea that you've been covered in the blood, washed, transformed, and become a new person. Come on, Lord. Okay, I feel it. So even letting you say that in my presence, now there's this internal battle of, dang, do I even believe it? Well, did the baptism work? Do I need to be dipped again? Right? Because that rhetoric is teaching that in my bloodline, I can't control that, right? And for me, I cannot get with it. I can't get with it. Because in the Bible, it talks about us having choices, right? Put before you this day, life and death, right? Even in what we say, we are setting the course for our lifestyle. So for me, even with my children, I teach them, life not happening to you because you're cursed. And if I can be honest, oftentimes the curses that the Bible is speaking of was real curses. But we'll get, that's a whole nother, a lot of y'all, I'm cursed. You ain't cursed. You're not disciplined, okay? You're reaping what you're sowing. But, so if anybody's watching this and you feel like, okay, Kat, you talking to me? Stay with me because I'm about to show you something. So as a woman dating bad men, this video kind of would tell you like, would kind of tell you, hey, it's in your bloodline. But if I'm a child molester, come on, right? And I'm out here hurting children, and I say, it's in my bloodline. I come from abuse. I come from generation on generations where this is just what we do. And I'm never going to beat this. It's in my bloodline. I should be acknowledged. My struggle should be something that's considered real. But we don't do that. Why? Because we know, regardless of whatever demons you're wrestling with, that particular type of sin, right? Same thing with a rapist. That particular type of sin, it evokes something in us to say, well, you can choose not to do that. But it's the same idea when we're choosing mates, careers, jobs, and even just bad habits we pick up and say, we put it on as a cover or as a mantle and say, this is just how I am. I'm not healthy because I don't want to make good choices about what I eat. I'm not emotionally healthy because I don't believe in therapy. These are choices that slowly start to shape our life. And so I just wanted to come and give some tips and some tools. Like I said, I'm not tearing down a video. I just want to come at an angle for anybody feeling like, dang, like it's in my bloodline that I'm trash. Like, Now, don't get me wrong. I'll never underestimate the spiritual world and the evil that we have to combat every day. But in my opinion, our best way to live in the most, I'm trying to word it right because I don't want to offend nobody. The best version of your life is emotional and spiritual health and allowing yourself to be honest about you cannot over spiritualize everything. Sorry, you cannot. You cannot over spiritualize the things in your life that you know have been tapping on you, whether it's in the back of your mind, the back of your shoulder, you keep hearing it, keep seeing it on TV, because at some point you come to a crossroad where you know you've been lying to yourself and you like, F it, I'm gonna just keep believing this because that's easier than me looking in the mirror and facing the truth about some of the choices that I made repeatedly in my life that now have become a pattern or a habit. Feel me? Let me know if y'all understand what I'm saying because it's kind of quiet in the audience and I don't know if y'all like, what's she talking about? Or y'all feel me? So let me know if you hear me. So here are some of the things you can do. Okay, side note, if you've ever heard me talk, I've talked about this book so much. This book is by Peter Scazzero, Emotionally and Healthy Spirituality. I've read this book probably 7 times. Book toe up. All type of stuff in the book, okay? The book is amazing. We're processing. Thank you, Mercedes. Okay, cool. Okay, so here are some things you can do when it comes to you trying to identify maybe things in your life that you got to kind of get better, right? If you're going to therapy off the rip, right? Especially as a black person living in America, I respect you for going to therapy. So here we go. Naming, recognizing, and managing your own feelings. One of the things I hear, if you ever want to trigger me, watch me out in public or somewhere watching somebody and somebody says, well, that's just how I am. Oh, baby, that's just triggering for me. That's just how I am. I always had an attitude. That's just how I give that line. Because what we've done in our culture is made it okay for people to use their emotional immaturity as character traits. Oh, I'm just like that. I don't hang out with a lot of girls. I don't get along with a lot of girls. Because girls don't get along with you. Projection is a hell of a drug. Let me just tell you. Number 2, identifying with and having active compassion for others. One of the number 1 signs that somebody's immature is their lack of ability to have empathy for somebody else. That's something children have, right? Because their frontal cortex is not fully developed. So they're not always able to understand what's going to come down the street around the corner. They kind of just deal with what's right in front of them. But a lot of immature people lack the ability to be empathetic. How would that make me feel if I was having a good day, and because something else happened to somebody outside of me, they took it out on me. That would upset me. That would throw my day off. Let me check myself before I walk into Starbucks or Target and go off. Because I'm really not mad they got my coffee wrong. I'm mad I didn't get a text back. I'm not mad that they got my coffee wrong. I don't like my job, and God been told me to quit, but I'm too scared to do it because I want him to give me another job before I quit this one. So I'm gonna go cuss them out. Empathy. Boop. Initiating and maintaining close and meaningful relationships. I created a video today and I deleted it, and I don't know, I'm just to a point now where I feel like I don't be wanting to hurt people's feelings because I don't want to do the work in the DM. So sometimes I just delete stuff, like, okay, delete. And I have to get out of that because a lot of y'all don't get to see it before I delete it. But you got to be able to identify who is a part of your tribe. Now, what I mean by that is you may not talk to this person every day. You may not go on like dates with them or hang out with them or go party with them or barbecue with them. You may not have no blood relation to this person, but the way they live their life, their value system, their character traits, the fruit of what they do every day and what's coming from them, it matches up with what you do and who you are. Those are people that are in your tribe. I don't talk to a lot of y'all every day, but we're in the same tribe. Because I'll post something and we'll vibe over it. Like we cousins and right? Maintain those meaningful relationships. Now I get it. Everything COVID happened, whatever. Step out your comfort zone. Hey, I'm just hitting you up to see if you okay. This is real cringy for me, but I got love for you. I want to make sure you okay. Maintain them. Breaking free from self-destructive patterns. That's a whole live, and I got a headache just reading that one. A lot of y'all got stuff y'all do is so self-destructive. It's sickening. It's sickening. Side note, go purge some of y'all Instagrams, please. Please go purge some of your Instagrams. I'll leave that at that. And here's the thing, the people that's watching specifically, this really ain't for y'all, because a lot of y'all, the 10 that's watching, it's a lot of other people that will watch this later. Okay, so don't be offended. Be aware of how our past impacts our present. That's a whole sermon. Developing the capacity to express your thoughts and feelings clearly, both verbally and non-verbally. I've been married 12 years. I have 3 children. And patterns and habits are very real. What I've been forced to do inadvertently, like not on purpose, is to ask myself, what parts of myself do I want my kids to take up into their households, around my future grandchildren, around their future spouses, whatever businesses they gonna have, run, or work for? What parts of me that maybe I'm more of ashamed of, like, ugh. What parts of me do I want them not to inherit? That's a hard question to answer. And when you start working on that, you're even shocked, like, oh, I do that. I'm a fusser. I am a fusser, and I got it from my mom. And me and Lance talk about it. We talked about it today. And he was like, I want you to know you're a good mom, and some of the parts about yourself you don't like, you don't do it on purpose, and I want you to know you're getting better at it, but you still got some work to do. And I was like, yeah, you right, man. Because that man can tell me anything. He can tell me anything because he loves me in other parts of our life where he can't tell me anything and I don't get offended. Now, I might get low in my feelings. I'm very emotional and sensitive. But it was good to hear I'm making some progress. So I ask you, what parts of you do you not want to transfer over? Learn how to communicate clearly, right? Some of y'all don't realize, and I'm saying this for anybody watching, I'm a life coach. I'm also a relationship coach. When I'm coaching couples, one of the number one things that happens is miscommunication, right? The man might be trying to communicate his feelings, but he might be using examples, right? She may feel like he's attacking who she is as a person. So before I can even address that, I have to address sister over here. You don't even like yourself. It don't matter what this man say. You're hearing your mommy and daddy talk to you. And then for him, I'm like, you feel like being held accountable is a one-way street, brother, because you're the example. Like, so it happens in some of the most amazing relationships. Okay, it happens. So you have to learn how to communicate verbally and non-verbally. A couple more things you can do. Respecting and loving others without having to change them. This gonna get me in trouble when I blow up. Somebody gonna probably come back and take this and put this on the news and make a E! True Hollywood story. I don't want my kids to take my house party ways. So let me be honest with you. You better address that. Address why that part of your life was important for you. What did that feed in you? And this is the part that gets fun for me, because anybody that's watching, if you have a behavior or trait that you like, oh, I don't want my kids to have this, well, identify why you had it. Maybe for you, you didn't grow up in a household that participated in game nights and hanging out and having these strong interpersonal relationships where you felt like, dang, I love y'all, but I'm chilling, I'm having a good time. I feel safe here. I feel heard. I feel seen. I feel cool. I feel acknowledged. You feel me? So my lustful ways. You feel me? So it led to something. So I'll give you that. But what's up, Shay? Respecting and loving others without having to change them. Let me just tell y'all something. I am disgusted by the way the Christian community treats gays, lesbians, and transgender people. I am. There is nothing, and I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, because I don't struggle with that, it breaks my heart to watch people condemn that group of people, right? I was humping, acting like Barbara Brown. Yeah, you was with it. You was the man too back in the day. Anyway, can I share with you guys something? Don't judge me. I'm gonna tell you this, and I don't want you to be offended, but I love being transparent because I need y'all to know I'm not preaching at you. This is what I've experienced. Number one, people who have a hatred toward a certain group of people struggle with that. Either struggle with it secretly in some form of fashion, right? Even questioning themselves, right? So they'll either never talk about it or they'll always talk about it and hate that group. I'm prejudiced against really, really fat people. Now, if you know me, you know I used to be 300 pounds. So I'll let you put two and two together. Why would Kat, that love everybody, be prejudiced towards? And let me tell you what I mean by prejudice. When I go to a fast food place and a bigger person is in front of me taking a long time, you do not want to hear what I be saying. Because I used to be fat. Because that's me. So that's my projection. I'm triggered, right? Because that's how I felt about myself. You ain't got no business up in here ordering that. That's why your ass is big now. You need to be doing cardio. So I'm sharing that with you so you can understand the psychology behind groups of people that you feel like need to change in order for you to love them. And we call ourselves believers. I will always be triggered by bigger people because that's me. How can my husband stay with me and love me and I was big like that? How could God continue to bless me and help me and do all this knowing there were times I shouldn't have been eating that, I should have been working out, I should have tried harder. It shouldn't have took me to my 30s to lose the weight, but it did. It did. So when I see other people, I hold them to my standard, and that's not loving them. Here's the tip, about fat people. People don't know. We know we fat. People sometimes make jokes and say stuff like, we don't know we fat. We know we fat, okay? I know I'm big. And I'm not talking, let me say this, y'all. I'm not talking about people that's like size 16, 17. I'm talking about people like on my 600-pound life that like cannot barely walk in a restaurant. I'm talking about they trigger me. Because my mom was a big girl. So I'm not saying people that's 300, 400 pounds. That ain't even big enough. But that shows you the distortion of how I felt about myself, how bad I didn't like myself, because I'm comparing myself to somebody that's 600 pounds. So you're going to get a number 9, number 11, do you order that? That's not even on the menu. When I tell you, you don't want to hear what I say. When people, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. Side note, I give you a little joke because it's kind of heavy. One time I was in King Taco, and I love King Taco, and it was hella people in there. Hella people. And I shout out to my Mexicans because I love Cali because Mexican and black people, we just vibe. We just vibe. And we'll talk to each other like we cousins. So I was like, dang, it's hella Mexicans in here. Don't y'all ate this food at y'all house? And the Mexican dude turned around, I was like, but y'all be at Popeyes, man. Like, ain't that food at your house? I was like, hey. Kind of heavy. So yeah, man, I was like, Primo, my friend, you got my ass. I'm humble. I'm gonna stay in line. So I'm just telling y'all, like, cat guy, it's a lot that goes up here. All right, let me give you a few more tips, and I'm gonna get y'all out of here because you're probably watching me like, girl. Please accurately self-assess your strengths, limits, weaknesses, and freely sharing them with others. Hello, the stuff that I'm telling you to do is stuff I participate in and I do. Like I didn't even plan that. But that's perfect. That's perfect. When you share your weaknesses and your limitations, one, it helps people who really love you hold you accountable. Number two, I think it's freeing. It's so freeing to sit before people and talk about my strengths, my weaknesses, because I know somebody's watching it, and you there's a little sigh of relief because it's like, oh man, I do that too. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making it up in my head. It doesn't matter because that image lives rent free for me, so it allows me to be transparent with people. Please practice that. Learning the capacity to resolve conflict maturely and negotiate solutions that consider the perspective of others. When I was getting my master's, I took a class in negotiations, and one of the things about the art of negotiation is to put yourself in the seat of somebody else and figure out what's the one thing that they are not. This deal's not happening if they don't get that. And that class blew my mind. I got an A, but it's about learning people, knowing people, and being able to be empathetic. Taking yourself, you're going to get what you want if you a good negotiator. But negotiations are about you being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And oftentimes, culturally, our society doesn't push that narrative or that thought process. Critical thinking is gone from the schools. Okay? I hate people say common sense ain't common. Well, honestly, the common sense that you and I have from our generation, I was born in 87, it wasn't that it was common. The culture allowed for us to pick up and learn these type of social cues because of the environment we were in. Outside school, playing Boys and Girls Club, basketball court, the mall, yada, yada, yada. It has changed, and there's transitions happening. So I even had to stop saying to my kids, like, you ain't got no common sense. Like, that's not really it. Environment and times have changed. So I just give that to you. Please be able to see it from somebody else's perspective, right? That way it can become a little more fluid when you need to do it quicker. Because you ain't always going to have time to watch a lie to be like, she right. Sometime to drop it, woo, in the grocery store. Boom, somebody take your seat, your parking spot. You going to pop? Is it worth it? You know what? They probably having a bad day. You can have a spot. I ain't even tripping. But if you don't do this work before that moment, you going to go to jail. All right. Because you done been slice their tires. Two more, guys. Distinguishing appropriately, expressing our sexuality and sensuality. I met your uncle in college. I ain't gonna tell this story. I always tell this story. I got to college a virgin. I had a narrative about men. I was very scared about bail me out, cat. Baby, you ain't getting this savings. I met Lance very young, and we got married at 22 years old. Going into the marriage, I need everybody to hear me, okay? Lance or me did not have married people in our family that covered us spiritually, that we could go and glean from and learn from. We literally went in with the idea, I ain't leaving you and you ain't leaving me. Now, immediately for some people that might trigger you because the first thing you think of is, oh no, see, because if you cheat on me then, and I can understand how that may be something you go to because you've experienced it or your family may have experienced it, but I'm just speaking of 22-year-old me and 23-year-old Lance. That's not where our brains went. And I just challenge you to be very clear with yourself concerning what you need. There are some people watching right now who feel like, sexually, I'm grown, I'm going to do A, B, and C. We talked about choices and life and death being in the power of the tongue. A lot of you don't realize how you've shaped your own life in your own mind, the narrative you tell yourself every day when you get up with how you speak about yourself. I have always been a wife. And I'm not saying that because my mommy was this amazing wife who raised me and taught me how to fold napkins and polish silverware. I was 9 years old writing down the names of my kids. I thought I was going to have 5 boys. Thank you, Lord, for not listening to me. Malachi, Ezekiel. But I didn't allow people teasing me or making fun of me change what I knew was really in my heart about what I wanted. So if there's women watching or men watching that desire to have, come on, a relationship, if there's anybody watching that desires to have a successful business, okay, I don't know if she's still on here, but my homegirl Kim on here, shout out to Kim, okay, Miss Millionaire, okay, successful business, they can attest So the type of tenacity you have to have, the tunnel vision you have to have when it comes to taking steps every day to get to that thing that you say is on the inside of your heart. Our sexual appetites rob us of so many opportunities because we let that be the captain of our ship when it comes to our life. I'm all sweating. And for me, if I could be honest with you guys, I didn't struggle with being promiscuous or sleeping around or any of that stuff because unfortunately I had a very traumatic event happen to me as a child, and I ended up on the opposite end of the spectrum where I feared men. For some people, they swing the other way and they become, out there. I had a fear. But even with me being on that end of the spectrum, I did not let that allow me to be steered by my fears because I watched that happen to my mom. So there's times, even right now, y'all, there are things I'm doing where I'm literally going. Before I started this life, I was like, Lord, I know I ain't famous yet. And I know, my life ain't popping. But I do this in faith. I want to give my gift to the people. And I go scared and trembling because I don't even know. I ain't got everything written down, but I go. I'm just telling y'all that because I think y'all don't realize it's possible to do it. You can walk it out. It's somebody watching right now that know they need to get married. And I ain't gonna call you out. You know you need to be married. But you keep waiting on this proverbial, sign or the earth to open up and the Lord say, go and do a thing. And it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of things I've did where I literally had to jump off the cliff and just fly and go. And some of it worked out, some of it didn't. But it's prepared me for this big thing in my mind that I'm still praying and hoping God for. So whether, like I said, it's a business for you, it's marriage for you. Some of y'all want to go back to school. Some of y'all want to be healed and you don't even know what a healed you look like. Because you feel like what happened to you or who you are, how long it's been or how many bad choices you made, ain't no coming back from that. And that's a lie from the pits of hell. It's a doggone lie. So I don't want any of you guys to be led by your sexuality, by the fear in your life, by the disappointments. I lost 2 babies, okay, before Honey came here. You can't tell me about disappointments because I had told myself, you doing the Lord's work. When you call on him, he gonna be there. And then when I did, my baby still passed. So that took me back because I had to learn about the sovereignty of God, about what he want to do when he want to do it. So I encourage you, change how you talk about yourself, okay? Take your fleshly desires out the driver's seat. And sometimes that's not even sex. Sometimes your fleshly desires is your need to be validated by the stuff you have. So you keep overworking yourself. Okay, somebody. Okay? At a job you don't like that you was supposed to been leave. Or you keep being friends with this group of people. Come on. That the Lord been told you it's time to leave them. Some of y'all still blessing and helping out your family like you they Santa Claus or you're their Jesus. Because you done convinced yourself you're their savior. And if not you, then who? It's a lot of stuff in our life. If I really ask the Lord, dial it in. Tell me who on this live right now, who got some stuff. You be like, girl, she in my business right now. So I'm just saying, volunteer. Volunteer to say, you know what? This can't be me no more. I want something new for myself. And can I say this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then we can wrap it up. And grieving well. Every message ain't for everybody. Not that face. Every message ain't for everybody. When you watching something and you hear the pastor say you're gonna be the one in your family to break curses. No, you not. I'm not. Listen, I pray that my call on my life is not a preacher. Please, Lord, don't let that be it. Because I'm just started learning how to not really cuss a lot. And I'm not going to be up here in this pulpit anyway. But I would say this to my congregation if I was. This message ain't for everybody. Jesus used to say, for those who have ears, let them hear. This ain't for y'all. This ain't for everybody. And the reason why that has to be clear is because when there's a message given, okay, oftentimes in the Bible, if you ever read the Bible, the prophets, I used to be like, why do prophets always got an attitude? The Lord be like, go tell them if they don't get right, I'm killing them all, right? And they'll be like, oh, Lord, they don't be listening. And I'm like, do your job. I've lived long enough to be like, Lord, I'm not finna, no, I'm not texting her, I'm not calling her, I'm not getting on live because they ain't listening, they ain't gonna listen. I get it now. I totally get it now. I want people to understand that when you hear messages, they're not for everybody, which means that if you're listening to it and you feel moved, then it was for you. It was for you. Listen, you guys, if I don't have enough paper in my house to write down all the prayers you asked God about and forgot about. So some of y'all have asked for signs and wonders. Lord, send me a sign. Okay, Lord. And he done sent all type of stuff. I have gone live before and spoken about stuff. And I'm like, this is the sign for somebody. Because I don't even know why I'm on here going off about it. And people don't be. So listen, if you watch this and you moved, respond by action in your life. Don't DM me. Now, you can DM me to affirm me. That's cool. Praise God. But something in your life has to change. Otherwise, you just... How many minutes we been on here? 36 minutes. Ooh, y'all know I'm chatty patty. I desire for people to live a full life of amazing blessing. But I also am not gonna lie to you. Y'all remember that Oracle on Matrix from the first one that was smoking a cigarette? Y'all stressed that lady out. And I used to always wonder why she was smoking a cigarette. She knew all. I know now. Remember that play cigarette I used to have? Because it don't matter how much I know, how much game I try to give people, y'all gonna do what the hell y'all want to do. And you ain't finna stress me out. So the best thing you could do, okay, for me, okay, and your bloodline and the Lord and your generation and your future kids and your family and anybody else that you plan on leaving legacy to, man, get that mess together. And this doesn't mean be perfect. It says go and walk into your healing. I wish I had a shirt press because I got shirts. Step into your healing. Healing is a path. It is not an address or destination. Healing is literally when you hit start navigation, baby, and you step onto the path. So I encourage you, start your healing. Oh, my goodness. I got a lot of healing still left to do. A lot. I'm still very sensitive. I'm still very scared. I ain't gonna get into my business because y'all, I don't know y'all like that. But the Lord is really, really trying to teach me about myself and money. And it's very hard. Because when my husband said to me today, we're eating, he was like, you so gifted. He's like, I don't know how you fit everything you know into your head. There is so much you know. You're so gifted. You can speak about anything. There's literally nothing you cannot do where you'll walk into that space and speak and you just light up the room and you make people feel better. You give good advice. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and your problem is you keep wanting God to translate that into money for you. And I was like, this man know me too well. And it's because I've seen other people who are very talented, you know, whether it's karate or culinary, whatever, they've turned their passion into this amazing opportunity to support their life. And I'm like, God, don't tell me you want me to just do this for free, die. That's the fear. I say my fears out loud because the devil ain't finna keep me in prison. That's my fear. Like, I'm gonna be 80 and God like, okay, now. I done lived this whole life. So anyway, that's my thing is that, Lord, I'm trying to be patient and wait on you. But this dream, and I promise you, and let me tell you how, if you ever wonder what's my thing, what's my dream, try to kill it. Kill it with a story, kill it with lies, kill it with, I don't even want it no more. Change it up. If you cannot get rid of or kill your dream, then that's your passion. I have tried to give this up so many times. I have been a bar manager, a bartender, a gas station attendant, a property manager. I've worked at Enterprise Rental Car. I've worked for nonprofits. I've worked at a tax place. I've worked for myself. I have done so many things. I've worked for Long Beach Unified. I've done so many things. And guess what I was in all of them? Cat Branchman. Why is you in the lunchroom at school doing a motivational speech for the janitors? Can you get back to the class and watch them kids? Joe, I'm telling you, Joe, you can do it, Joe. Like, no matter where God put me, that it just came out. So I'm just telling you that to let you know that's my thing, is that Maybe you waiting on a husband, or you waiting on a business, or you waiting on, you know, reconciliation with your mom. You know, whatever your thing is, just understand everybody has their own thing. But what are you going to look like when you get there? Did you use this time to heal yourself appropriately? Did you learn how to communicate appropriately? Did you understand your limitations and weakness? Have you forgiven yourself? It's a lot of people that want to life coach with me, but you just want to tell me how crappy you are. I'm not. No. No. I will make money hand over fist if I let people call me and just rant. There have been people that I say, I can't no longer work with you. You're not ready to do any healing. You just want to sit on the phone and complain. I don't want your money. That don't fulfill me. I want to see change in people. So I just encourage you, until you get to your place, whatever your thing is, that's my thing. I don't even know what my thing look like. I don't know. But I just know it's not doing lives. It ain't doing live like this for the next 40 years. But you know what? If this would it look like. Now, when you get to that place, that's a tough place to be. When you get to that place, how do I become a life coach? You either want or you not. I'll explain what I mean. We always walk away with something during your life. Think you welcome. And that's why I keep doing it. I'm just giving y'all my real, you know, like, I want to be rich and famous, and like, I want my lifestyle to, a lot of what I can't do is because of money. And I'll leave it at that. So I don't want that to be something that stops me no more. It's resource. I don't want to lack resource. So that. Life coaching, either you a life coach or you're not. I remember being at the gas station, life coaching in the back, smoking Black and Milds. I remember life coaching at 9 years old at elementary school. This is why y'all mamas be up here now. I was at school at Poly. I was a life coach, braiding hair, making extra money at lunchtime. So I'm a life coach. I've been for 1 year. Yeah. But here's the trick about successful life coaches. Your life should match what the hell you preaching and talking about. Now that's how you become effective. There's some people out there that call themselves, I hate the term life coach because there's some trash people out there like, I would read you for filth. But their lifestyle don't match with what you preaching. I would never get on here and tell you something I either haven't mastered, conquered, or I'm currently going through right now. And so we can walk through it together. So for me, as somebody who's very discerning, I'm going to sit and watch. What you talking about? What you talking about? I ain't gonna mention nobody's name, but it's people that get on here that's really, really big, that give off this persona. And my spirit is like cringing watching them. I'm like, ooh, hoo, hoo. Peep, that's why I say don't send me no videos of people that you like and love, because I'm either gonna rip them up or I'm just gonna not respond out of respect, because some people's spirits ain't right, baby. But yeah, you never gonna be able to hit me up and get me to say anything that I don't practice. And that's not because I'm better than anybody. I used to wonder why people always come to me. Because you're natural. You're a natural leader, one. You probably have a spirit of affirmation for people. You make people feel good when they talk to you, right? But there's also so high you can go with your own life. So if you really, for real, like hit me up, Shay, let me know. I work for myself. I book my own clients. I make more money as a life coach than I do as a therapist. However, I don't work with everybody. There is a wait list, okay? Because I'm only human. And there's also certain people that I don't work. So I'm getting ready to transition into my relationship coaching. I'm only gonna work with married couples or couples that want premarital counseling. I'm not doing the dating. Y'all not gonna wear me out. No. And that's because everything I teach women about being a wife, and when Lance talking to the guy about being a husband, it doesn't work if people are not married or headed there. So anyway, I hope y'all got something from this. I appreciate y'all time. I don't know who this was for or why I even got on here. I'm hella sweating, about to go get my babies. And hit me up, DM me. Don't be offended if you don't like the answer I give you, because I'm going to give you an answer. Y'all be safe. I love you guys. I'm going to blow up Shuey one day, not today. Y'all have a good evening. Peace.